Ever wonder how your communication lands on others? The Third Person podcast series takes a unique look at communication skills, helping you see yourself through someone else's eyes. Our very first episode, The Power of Your Words, dives deep into the impact of what you say. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to our channel for fresh perspectives and actionable insights to transform the way you connect.
This is our podcast, the Third Person Podcast. Enjoy the time with us for the next few minutes.
Welcome to The Deep Dive. This week, we've been really digging into the sources and insights you've shared with us about communication. And what just leaps out is the incredible power our words actually have.
Absolutely.
It's clear a lot of your thinking about how to make them count. So that's our mission today, really. We want to pull out the sharpest, most useful insights.
Yeah, the practical stuff.
Exactly. To help you understand how your words, they're not just noises, right? They're tools. They literally shape your reality.
That's a big idea.
It is. And we want to arm you with more confidence, more articulacy, maybe more persuasion, so you can really own your voice.
Okay.
Now, the sources kick off with this really foundational, almost startling idea. What you say is who you are.
Powerful.
Think about it. Your whole personality, everything you are, gets kind of compressed into what people hear you say.
And for most people.
For most people, yeah, that's not just one way they experience you. It's often the only way.
That's so true.
And guiding us through this, we're drawing a lot from Jefferson Fisher. He's a trial lawyer, millions of followers online.
Right, I've seen his stuff. Very direct.
Super direct. What makes his advice hit home is it's so practical. Like, he records it in his car, in the trenches between court cases.
Yeah, very raw.
And his tips, they're simple, but they can give you these instant, light bulb moments you can use immediately.
And it's important to stress, this isn't just about, arguing or winning. People hear trial lawyer and think.
Right, confrontation.
Exactly. But a key insight here is that anyone truly can learn to be a better communicator. It doesn't matter if you're someone who says very little or someone who talks a lot. 2 words or 20 words.
And sometimes less is more, you're saying?
Often, yes. More words don't automatically mean better communication. That's a really crucial point we'll explore.
Okay, so we've got this idea.
Yeah.
What we say defines us. But then we hit this snag, don't we? This almost universal thing where we treat arguments like battles.
Like something to win.
Yeah, exactly. We want to come out on top. It feels instinctive. But the sources really push back against that, don't they?
They really do. Jefferson Fisher's core insight totally reframes it. He says arguments are like knots.
Knots.
Yeah, knots to unravel, not contests to win. He puts it so well. What is sent is not what is received.
Ah, okay. So what I think I
was often not even close to what they actually heard. Think about it like radio frequencies.
Okay.
You're turned into, say, 90s country, rocking out. They're listening to 2000s R&B, also rocking out.
But on totally different stations.
Exactly. You're both hearing music, you're both engaged, but you are not on the same channel. And often, neither of you even realizes it.
That knots idea is really helpful. It makes me think of Mel Robbins' example from Sources.
The birthday dinner.
Yeah, with her husband, Chris, after his mom's 87th birthday dinner, she said something, instantly regretted it.
We've all been there.
Totally.
Yeah.
And Chris just asked her, why did you have to say that? That feeling of instant regret is so relatable.
It really is.
But, okay, here's the practical bit. If the advice is to ask, what did you hear? Instead of defending yourself, what if they did hear something offensive? Even if you didn't mean it that way. How do you handle that without getting defensive then?
That's exactly where the power of this technique lies. Instead of defending, you shift gears. You pivot to curiosity.
Great.
See, asking why did you say that, it immediately puts people on the defensive.
Yeah, it feels like an attack.
It does, and it can subtly undermine your own credibility too. But shifting to what? That changes the whole feel.
So instead of defending, Mel could ask,
what did you hear? Or what was going through your head when that happened? Or even, what made you say this? Referring to his question.
I see.
It's a small word change, why to what, but it's profoundly different. It's designed to open things up, not shut them down. It lets you bridge that gap between what was sent and what was received.
Okay, that makes sense. Let's shift gears a bit. What about delivering difficult news? This is tough for so many people.
Oh, definitely.
That tendency to, tiptoe around it or dance around the subject.
Trying to soften the blow.
Yeah. We start with small talk. We hem and haw. And really all it does is make the other person start to panic, right? Because they know something's coming. They don't know what.
Exactly. The fear of the unknown kicks in.
I'm definitely guilty of doing that sometimes.
Well, the sources are pretty clear on this. Fisher's advice: jump right in.
Like a cold plunge.
Exactly. The cold plunge into difficult conversations. Don't delay. Don't tiptoe.
Why is that more effective?
Because the underlying reason we often tiptoe, the insight here is that we secretly believe the other person lacks the emotional resiliency to handle the truth.
So we're kind of babying them.
We're trying to, yeah. But think about the consequence of that. Avoiding the truth, or soft-pedaling it. It's actually framed in the sources as one of the cruelest forms of lying.
Wow. Cruelest.
Especially to loved ones. Because when you skirt around the truth, you're implicitly sending a message: I don't think you're strong enough to handle this.
Ouch. That's undermining.
It is, even if your intentions are good. It undermines their strength.
So, okay, instead of that weak approach, we can use these really powerful phrases from the source material. Things that actually empower the listener.
Right.
Like saying, I'm telling you this because I know you can handle it.
Yes. Or, I know you have big shoulders.
Okay.
What that does is give the listener armor, or like a backpack for the trip ahead.
You're strengthening them beforehand.
You're strengthening them by explicitly stating the quality you want them to have or that you see in them, whether it's, valuing transparency, being open-minded, having those big shoulders.
And they rise to meet it.
Almost always, yes. They rise to the expectation you've set. It's a really powerful psychological shift.
And building on that idea of setting things up, the sources also talk about this framing technique.
Ah, yes. Framing.
Explicitly setting the boundaries and like the desired outcome of the conversation right from the start. That sounds incredibly useful.
It's a game changer for clarity and honestly for keeping things on track. You can start by saying something like, I want to make sure that this room is one where I can be completely truthful.
Setting the expectation of honesty.
Exactly. Or you state the desired end goal right up front.
Give me an example.
Okay, I'd like to talk to you about that comment you made at dinner last night.
Okay.
And I want us to walk away from this conversation knowing that this isn't a topic you'll bring up again in front of other people.
So super clear. This is what we're talking about. This is the goal.
Precisely. It makes sure everyone knows what the conversation is about. And just as importantly, what it is not about. It's like setting the rules before you even start playing.
Okay. Now let's talk awkwardness. What about those times you just have to talk to someone you really don't like?
Yeah. We all have those people.
You just grit your teeth. How do you handle that without, losing your own cool or looking bad yourself?
Well, a really key insight here is, even if you don't like them, you need to focus on maintaining your own likability.
Why my likability?
There's that great quote, "Don't argue with a fool because onlookers won't know the difference."
Right. It's about the audience.
Exactly. The advice is to go neutral, completely neutral.
I mean,
stick to the basic facts, no offhand comments, no sarcastic tone, no eye rolling, no crossed arms.
Just the facts, ma'am.
Pretty much. Your goal isn't to win them over or make them like you. It's to convince the other people, the ones watching how you behave. They're your real audience in that moment.
That's a really useful perspective play to the onlookers. Okay, what about those more subtle digs? You feel belittled or someone gives you a kind of underhanded insult. Like the example from the source, someone asking, are you still single?
Oh, that classic passive-aggressive jab.
Right. It's so common. How do you respond without giving them the satisfaction they're clearly looking for?
Okay, the technique here is brilliant. It's the make them say it again tactic.
Make them repeat the insult.
Yeah. It sounds simple, but it takes all the fun out of it for them. You deny them that little dopamine hit they were expecting from your reaction.
Okay.
Then you calmly follow up by asking questions about their intent. Like, did you say that to hurt me? Or did you say that to embarrass me? Or did you say that to offend me?
Wow. Directly.
It creates this mirror effect. You're reflecting their words right back at them, forcing them to actually own the negativity. And almost always, they'll backtrack. They don't want to explicitly admit their mean intent.
That is brilliant. It puts the awkwardness right back on them. Okay, but what if it's not subtle? What if it's just outright disrespect, no ambiguity? What's the play then?
This is where you deploy the power of silence.
Silence.
Yes. Someone says something truly out of line, disrespectful, you just wait. Count to 10 seconds in your head.
That must feel like an eternity.
It does, and that's the point. It creates this palpable awkwardness. It puts distance between their comment and your response. It gives you time to compose yourself, and it gives them time to maybe feel the weight of what they just said.
And then, after the 10 seconds,
Then you respond with a calm, boundary-setting statement, something like, "That's below my standard for a response." It's powerful, right? It instantly flips the dynamic. You're not engaging on their level. You're setting your own standard. You take control back.
that takes confidence.
It does, but it's incredibly effective.
Yeah.
And if we think about disrespect more broadly, like someone else being disrespectful to others, remember the example of the grandfather being rude at Walmart?
Right, yeah.
The advice there is clear. Don't join in. Don't even tacitly approve by being silent.
So what do you do?
You overtly show kindness to the person being disrespected.
Yeah.
Maybe you go out of your way to thank the store clerk who was just treated poorly. Make it visible.
Counteract the negativity.
Exactly. And for people you're close to, family or friends, you set firm boundaries directly. You say, look, if this is how you're going to talk to people, I can't come with you.
Tough conversation.
It can be. But it acts as that mirror again. It helps protect your loved ones, not just from the act itself, but from how others perceive them when they behave that way or allow it.
Okay, let's pivot again. Thinking about home life, maybe work life too. Situations where accusations fly easily, especially parents, roommates. You know, your room is a disaster.
Yeah.
Or your stuff is everywhere. It's so common, but also pretty ineffective usually.
Totally ineffective because you're attacking the person, not the problem itself.
Right, so what's the better way?
The strategy here is crucial. Separating the person from the problem.
Okay, explain that.
Instead of saying, your presentation wasn't great, which feels personal.
Yeah, like an attack on me.
Right. You'd say something like, the presentation could benefit from a few changes. You make the presentation the issue, not the person. You objectify it.
Turn it into a thing to be fixed, not a personal failing.
Exactly. Let's take the roommate or kid example. Instead of, your room's not clean.
Which just starts a fight.
Right. You'd say, hey, I see the room still isn't clean. What should we do about it?
The we.
The we is key. Imagine literally putting the problem, the messy room, the presentation slides in the middle of the floor. Then you invite the other person, come sit next to me. Let's look at this problem together.
So you go from being opponents
To being
teammates, united against this shared challenge. It totally changes the energy.
That's a huge shift. So practically speaking, what does this really mean for us? The sources mention using the word help.
Yes, help is transformative.
So instead of blaming, you could say, I have a need for the room to be clean. I need help with that.
Precisely.
My gut says people generally like being asked for help. They like being helpful. Does it usually work? Even if they're resistant initially? It's remarkably effective because, like you said, people are generally wired to respond positively to requests for help, much more so than accusations or demands.
Okay.
Even if there's some initial pushback, just shifting from attacking them to asking for help with the issue, it fundamentally changes the dynamic.
You're collaborators now.
You're collaborators, not adversaries. And you can apply this to almost anything, right? Managing screen time, encouraging self-care. Frame it as a shared problem you need their help to solve together.
Okay, this next insight really caught my attention. It felt a bit counterintuitive at first, but it makes so much sense, especially for just everyday chats or striking up conversations. It's about shifting focus to the future.
Ah, yes. This is a great one.
So in social settings first, the advice is
Sure.
focus on one person.
Right. Don't try to flit around and talk to everyone superficially.
Quality over quantity.
Exactly. Aim for one genuine connection. You'll actually leave feeling much better, like you had a real conversation.
Okay, but here's the thing the sources say is maybe the single most important piece, especially if you get nervous or have social anxiety.
Go on.
It's remembering this. Taking a breath is the first word.
Oh, that's powerful.
Just taking that pause before you speak lets you gain control. It stops you from rushing into this, like, flustered torrent of words where you lose yourself and dilute your message.
Yeah, that breath centers you. And then the future focus.
Right. Instead of the standard, how are you? Which usually gets a backward-looking, maybe generic answer.
Fine. Busy.
Ask something like, what are you excited about? Or what are you looking forward to?
Because people light up more talking about the future.
Apparently, yes. People tend to be more positive, more animated, more engaged when they talk about what's coming up versus what's already happened.
That makes sense.
And if you're asked, how are you? And you want to be truthful but concise, Without launching into a whole saga?
Yeah, avoid the overshare.
Use those weather metaphors, like, it's kind of an overcast day for me today.
Gets the point across without the drama.
I like that.
And speaking of oversharing, that leads right into it. The sources say it often comes from this need to feel believed.
Or to prove how much you know, yeah, to justify yourself.
But there's that quote, the more words it takes to tell the truth, the more it sounds like a lie.
Ooh, that hits home.
It does, and this raises that fantastic analogy. When you communicate, are you being a well or a waterfall?
The well versus the waterfall.
Be a well. Let people draw information from you at their pace. Don't just overwhelm them with this uncontrolled flood of words.
Let them ask follow-up questions if they want more.
Exactly. Well, not a waterfall idea really sticks with me. It kind of reframes how I think about sharing things. So if we combine that with the earlier idea about standing your ground, slowing down, is the core insight that confident communication isn't really about how much you say, but about the control you have, the deliberate pacing, letting others draw from your well instead of drowning them.
It's a perfect synthesis, yes. And this requires doing that pre-work we talked about. Knowing your destination before you start talking, not just getting on the plane with no idea where you're landing.
Precisely. Confidence isn't loud or rushed. It's measured. It's intentional patterns.
Wow.
When you slow down, when you pause, you're communicating non-verbally.
Yeah.
Nobody can make me say anything I don't want to say.
Okay.
And that pre-work, it's not about scripting every word. It's about understanding your intention. What's the purpose of this conversation? Where do you want it to go? That ensures your well has something valuable for others when they choose to draw from it.
Which leads beautifully into this whole concept of intentionality in communication.
Right.
It really loops back to that very first idea, doesn't it? You choose who you are through your words. It's about being deliberate.
It is, and we often mix up two key things here, conversational goals and conversational values.
Okay, difference.
A goal is the specific destination, what you want to achieve in this particular chat, like making sure you understand what someone meant by a comment. That's a goal. Are you listening just to respond, or are you listening to actually understand? That relates to your goal.
Got it. And values.
Values are different. They're the deeper principles that guide how you communicate consistently, regardless of the specific goal or outcome. They ensure you stay true to yourself.
Like your communication compass.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're less about winning the specific argument and more about embodying the kind of person you want to be in all your conversations.
Does Fisher give examples of these values?
He gives 3 really powerful ones. First, if I can't be a bridge, be a lighthouse. If direct connection or agreement just isn't possible in that moment, you can still be a steady, consistent source of light. Principled, clear. So others can navigate by you, maybe find their way back later.
Okay, I like that. What else?
Second, inspired by his mother. If there's room for kindness, I will use it. This ensures you never regret not being kind, even when it's tough, even if the other person isn't being kind. It's about your standard, not theirs.
That's a high bar, but a good one.
Yeah.
And the third?
The third is profound. Tell them who I am without telling them my name.
Wow. Okay, unpack that.
It means your words, your actions, your way of being in the conversation should communicate your character, your integrity, how you make people feel more powerfully than any title, status, or even your name ever could. It's about living your values so clearly they speak for themselves.
That really shifts the focus. And I love how if you operate from these values, you don't need to stress about having the perfect comeback or clever zinger, right?
At all.
Your values just guide your authentic response in the moment.
Yeah.
Takes a lot of pressure off.
It really does. Your values become your framework.
Okay, let's bring this all home. How do we apply these powerful insights in the places they matter most? Everyday life at work, with our families.
Great question, because that's where the rubber meets the road.
So at work.
At work, a huge piece of advice is show up with something to learn, not something to prove.
Ooh, I like that. Learn, don't prove.
Yeah. Imagine shifting your default setting from defending your turf or showing how smart you are to being genuinely curious about your colleagues' perspectives.
How does that play out?
It makes you more approachable, obviously, but it also makes you a better collaborator, a better problem solver. When you ask genuine questions, trying to understand their viewpoint, you build trust and rapport. You actually get better results.
And what about showing authority? Sometimes you need to lead.
Right. Instead of being dictatorial, you can use specific words to guide things subtly. The word direction is powerful.
How
Yeah,
care?
you can say things like, okay, I'd like to set the direction for this meeting, or I'm concerned about the direction this discussion is going. It instantly positions you as thoughtful, strategic, like the captain of the ship, setting the course, not just barking orders.
Nice. Okay, and for family, often the hardest place.
Absolutely. For family, the key is consciously injecting love and care, especially into the hard conversations. Literally saying, I'm telling you this right now because I love you.
Prefacing the tough stuff with care.
Yes. It cushions the message without weakening it. And it encourages vulnerability and strength, especially through owning apologies or uncertainties.
Like admitting you don't have all the answers.
Exactly. Whether you're a parent navigating something new with your kid or a spouse in uncharted relationship territory, being able to say, you know what, I'm learning too, is incredibly powerful.
It shows you're human.
It shows you're human, it reduces defensiveness, and it reinforces that you're a team figuring things out together, even when it's messy.
Wow, what a deep dive this has been. I mean, when you pull it all together, the sources just scream this one thing. The huge, often untapped power your words have to literally change everything in your life. It's clear you have so much more power than you might think over your reputation, your relationships, the impact you make.
And crucially, connecting back to what we said earlier, mastering this stuff. It's not magic. It's not some gift you're born with or without.
It's a skill.
It's a learnable skill.
Yeah.
Accessible to absolutely anyone at any stage of life. Young, old, doesn't matter. It's truly within your control to get better at this.
So for you, listening right now, here's maybe a final thought to chew on, a provocative question. Who do my words say that I am?
Good question.
Just take a second.
Yeah.
Think about the energy you bring when you walk into a room and start talking. Is it that feeling of, oh no, they're here? Or is it, oh great, they're here?
Big difference.
Huge difference. Challenge yourself, maybe starting today, to really align your words, your tone, your whole presence with the kind of person you genuinely aspire to be.
Yeah.
We really believe you can use these tools starting now to build better conversations, definitely better relationships, and honestly, a better life. Because that power, it's quite literally in your words.